Skip Thursday's daily puzzle on chess.com shot. This is called a push in the right direction. It's black to move. Give the video pause and try it yourself if you feel like it. Cool. So, seeing a check here. Looks pretty good. So the knight can block that. This bishop seems kind of blocked in. I'm tempted to sacrifice a rook, but I kind of feel like the king can just go here, honestly. If I were to go here, the king can just go here. Yeah, I don't like that much. So it does kind of feel like it has to be this. That would be my initial instinct, but I don't really see what's happening there. The knight could block. The knight has to block, doesn't it? Actually. Yeah, the king doesn't know where to go. Alright, so this forces the knight to block. And then I could do this. That seems interesting. I mean, so our bishops will be staring at each other. I don't know if that works. Push in the right direction. Like, is it talking about a pawn push? I don't know. If I push here, it's a discovered attack on the bishop. Is there a threat there? Am I missing something? Like, the knight could take or the pawn could take. But if the knight or the pawn took, I would take the bishop and be threatening the rook. So if the pawn takes, I can take with check. The pawn can take right back. And that doesn't even really open anything up, does it? Huh. I don't know. I think I'm back to this move, but I don't really see what it does. Unless it has to do with this after. So check. The knight has to block that. If I push this, I'm threatening the knight. It almost seems like this could even happen, though. I guess that looks pretty bad. I can take with the bishop. Pawn takes, and that's check at least. And these bishops are staring at each other. It's got to have something to do with that. So here, 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 and I'm just threatening the bishop, right? If the bishop takes, am I just like making a passed pawn? That feels kind of weird. Feels like I could make a passed pawn though. So here forces this. Here, I'm either winning the bishop, or if the bishop takes, I take the knight with the bishop, I would think. I don't really see what this is doing. I mean, that looks the best to me from what I've looked at so far. It doesn't really seem like the answer to a puzzle, though. I don't know. I'm going for this. I don't know what else to do. And I feel like it's this. Is this wrong? Okay. And I think I probably just do this. And then if the pawn takes, I take back, and I made a passed pawn. If the pawn doesn't take, and the king moves or something, I actually don't even know. What am I doing? Here, do I have to take with the pawn, actually? Because if the king moves, then my rook is hanging. What's the point of this? I don't get it. Here, 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 and then I take the bishop? Do I take with the pawn or the bishop? Why am I not understanding this? I don't take this way. It must be the pawn, right? Because if I take with the bishop, the king can just move, and then I have a hanging rook and a hanging bishop. I could take the bishop, but we just traded pieces. It's just a trade, so I must have to go this way, right? Is it this? I don't understand this, really. Did I win a knight? I did. Yeah, so I win the knight. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time processing that. I win the knight, and then I take the bishop at the end of the puzzle. Okay. Right, I traded bishops and won a knight by pinning the knight with the pawn and taking it with the pawn. Okay, I don't know why that was so hard for me to process. Watch the Chess World Championship last night. That's going to be my excuse, kind of. I mean, I was like kind of in and out of sleep, which has been kind of the case for the entirety of it. Okay, yeah, not sharp. Okay, cool. So, I mean, this is the only check in the position that looked really worth thinking about to me. This is a check, but I didn't see anything happening there. I don't know. I guess I did look at that for a little bit, but it doesn't really seem like anything's happening. This absolutely forces the knight to take because the king doesn't have any squares to move to right now. So the knight's going to take, and then I can push the pawn and threaten the knight. And the point is that when I push the pawn, I'm not only threatening the pinned knight, I'm also opening up a discovered attack on this bishop. So after here, the knight has to go here. I push the pawn. I'm threatening a pinned knight and also threatening a bishop. The bishop can take, and I can actually ignore that initially and just take the knight because I take the knight with check. And so something has to happen here, and I'm able to, if the pawn takes, I'm able to take back with the bishop, and this is still check. So eventually the king has to move, and then I can finally take my bishop back that was traded off earlier, and in the process I won myself a knight. that's the puzzle. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.